All right. So, ooh-wee. I think I remember I made a promise. Um, Today I decided to start Mamiya Mondays without telling anybody to see if any of you actually bother to come without me coming to beg for your attention. I'm testing you today to see if I'm worthy of your time. And do you actually prioritize Mamiya Mondays? Or is this something I force you to do? So, good morning. Good morning. I'm going to need to get my cell phone just now because I remember last week we said that you guys are going to join me on the live stream. So worry not if you are in the group, worry not. That section is coming. I am going to drop the link in the WhatsApp group, in the Moya WhatsApp group, yeah, for paying members. Unless you got there by hook and by crook, which is possible, because it's possible. So, before I invite some of you on, um, and I wonder, uh, okay, so I was checking. Tell me something. When I post this link here, hi, Lebogang. Tell me, when I post this link there, guys, are you able to access the link, or do I actually have to go the long route and send it to the WhatsApp group and then? So please, anybody who's there, hi, Levza. What's up? What's up? There was lots of gratitude when you guys were being made. And it actually makes me think, guys, when somebody gives you, like when your partner gives you, not somebody, I mean, really, we are not that level of hoish, but when your partner gives you a good round, do you thank them? I'm just asking, I'm just asking. Feedback, are you able to use, hi, Lungani, feedback on that StreamYard link, guys? Because last week, you guys said you want to join the live stream. You guys said you want to join the live stream. So let me know, does that work like that? Otherwise, I have to go to the WhatsApp group and post this link. I love it. The link is accessible. The link is on the comments page. If you would like to come join in the conversation, we're trying out something new. Hopefully, we won't attract some dodge characters. But luckily, on StreamYard, I'm able to see you backstage, and then I can check, read your energy. This is where we're gonna check if I'm really really good at energy reading, because I think I'm good with reading people's energies, but we'll see now for real. Hopefully, we won't attract some crazies. But yes, the link is online. So, guys, so I love to maintain my independence because I want to speak shit about everybody. Hey, 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 hey. And I must tell you, ne, It was extremely difficult. Ish, the sun is just coming at me there. It was extremely difficult, guys. Wait, man. Ish. Aesthetic. Aesthetic, man. Aesthetic. Yeah. So let me tell you, right? So now we're gonna break shit down. We're about to break it down, guys, because you saw there this morning on clickbait, I used MK and I was like, yeah, man, I am just gonna go in today and just unpack everything the way I see it. Oh, I love it. Okay, Kindani, you have to show your video. Otherwise, I cannot accept you. The only rule on the link, guys, is that you have to show your video. I have to see your face and read your energy. Only then can I add you onto the live stream. So I see you there, Kindani, but I can't trust you until you've put your video on. So, anyways, let's talk about MK today, guys. So, I've got a sneeze. There's a sneeze just sitting here, you know? There's a sneeze. It's just chilling. Okay, it's gone again. It'll be back again. But I was just letting you know that there's a sneeze on the edge. So let's talk about MK, guys, you know? So I think a lot of people were shocked by MK, right, in the beginning. And as with all new things, you know, it's scary, like it's a new idea and it's like, so I think a lot of people, we have to acknowledge that the fact that it was new was just like we didn't know what to do with this movement. So that's why a lot of people kept quiet for a little bit. But then when we started seeing that, okay, no, it's cool, it's talking our language, we started going with it, right? Started going with it and we love it. And what I love about MK is that in parliament is back to being parliament, you know, and opposition is back to being opposition, because in the past 5 years, CR had even bought the opposition, if you know what I'm saying. So it's not a new narrative. The things that you guys were celebrating about EFF, a response to Sona, these are not new things. These are things that EFF could have been raising for the past 5 years. So I'm just happy that EFF being humbled in the elections has brought out the kind of opposition that we've always freaking deserved. Okay. So okay, what's up, Kolani Molweni. So it's I'm so happy because also there's like smartness from black people starting to come through in parliament, you know. Parliament, if you remember what it used to be those old people falling asleep, and now suddenly like there is robust engagement. And the thing about MK is that they're super smart, so it's like we are so well represented. We are so well represented that they're making everybody look stupid. You know, even the white people who brought these Dutch laws of theirs don't even understand their own Roman Dutch laws. You know, so it's just like doing that. Okay, wait, let me come to your comments because you guys are chatty this morning. Let me see. I was here Temba Uti. Ikhala lam. Okay, I forgot that I can show you guys the comments. Ikhala lam ke ngoku, Mamiya, is the President Zuma is old and majority of MK voters would leave MK once president. Me and you are the same thing, Sia. I'm just like, you know, when first MK first came, you guys, you know, um, when MK first came, it was exciting, and as you know, we in this corner are not quiet. So we did say that, can this not be a personality cult? Because now we put our reputations on the line. because now even our family members are looking at us saying, how? So Emily Jacob Zuma yanung feminist. Saili wena muto. Wa understand? So we were vocal that please guys don't center this around uh JZ, because if you center it about around JZ, it's going to be a personality thing. But if you center it around the principles and the policies that you guys are bringing forward, it's so exciting. It's something that we really want. But now we are, so how many months? Because MK is still a baby, guys. Remember, MK is still a baby. So she is probably maybe like 8 months old now, and we're still not seeing, unless they're gonna groom Andile, guys. Okay, because that's another thing that we haven't thought about. Because if Andile is quietly Bade. Bade. What is Bade, anyways? What is Bade? So, anyways, back to MK talk. So, yes, like I really struggle with it being branded around the Zuma family, because that is flippin' dangerous. It's flippin' dangerous. Like it's like such wasted energy. It's such wasted energy. So I wish they could just find and I've said this before, like, but they can't hear me. Like, if they could just listen that whole family thing and just let in powerhouses who have also got their own names, I think that it might be a little bit better, because, like you say, life is not forever. Life is not forever. I think the MK will do without Umsholozi. Okay. I think he is building a base for future leaders. They have other young good leaders. I agree with that. You see, the thing is that I've actually totally seen that. I totally agree with that. It's just that it just fucks with me. Like, the gossipy part just sometimes fucks with me. Like, I'm just like, mm, I don't want to feel like every leader that enters MK has to grovel to Msholozi for their survival. I don't want to be led by an organization like that. I want organizations that are led by like principles and values of, but not of a human being. Like, I struggle with that, because human beings are flawed and we are a mix of good and bad. Even now, we have to acknowledge Msholozi's dark side, right? Like, it's just, so I'm just like, no, we are all sinners. So can we not have heroes? Can we not have like messiahs? Can we just have systems that we all follow, and rules, and that are the same for everybody? So, I don't want to go in too much, because also we don't really have black organizations that are really truly black representing us, and MK is that at the moment. I mean, rest in peace to the Pan Africanist Congress, you know what I'm saying? So we really don't have woke. I'm just struggling with that whole centering of the Zuma family, guys. Like, I'm sorry, guys, maybe it's because I've got a big ego myself. Even me, I'm like, no, 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 no. So I'm just like, don't make it about personalities, and I'll be there for the party. But once I have to follow people, or I mean, that's the same issues I had with EFF, wasn't it? Because I was just like, yo, man, I ain't coming there because I need to grovel to Juju now. I need to be constantly groveling to Juju the whole time. No, I want to be myself. I ain't coming to MK because I want to be groveling to Msholozi. No, I don't want to grovel to nobody. I just want to do things because they're right. I want to rebuild society because it's right. I want justice for black people because it's right. I want land for people because it's right. This personality thing, it's stressing me. Good morning, Dumelang Sanmunani, Commander. Peace. Good morning, guys. As you know, Mondays, I don't even try to front. It's my day off. Although I always say that, but actually, flip, we end up working anyways. But I was explaining to you that on a Monday, you will find me in my pajamas, in my natural state. You know what's also scaring me a lot, guys? What is scaring me, just a side note from MK, we're going to come back to the topic just now. The more evolution happens, the more black women, especially, have to change what they look like. Have you seen black women in the mainstream lately? That, like, you've got to change yourself before you leave your house to be accepted. Like, that's the notion of beauty, where you have to change yourself. Like, I've been so freaked out about that a little bit because I was like, hey, man, the more and more advanced and more civilized we're becoming, the more we have to not look like ourselves. I'm loving the Progressive Party unity. Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Guys, I know I scared you off a little bit there in the beginning. Where is this thing? I want to. Oh, here. This link over here, guys, in case you want to come in the video and express yourself visually. But the only rule is that when you come on, your video has to be on so that I can decide which are you coming on. Because sometimes, I used to do those Instagram live things, and then sometimes guys would come on there and then they've got their kinkings out. You know what I'm saying? So you guys have got just such a bad rapport. So if you want to be on the live, there is the link. It's on the screen right now. You can find it in the comment section. But your camera has definitely got to be on. And please, I don't want to see anybody's kinkings. Please, 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 please. Please, good morning. Yes, the Progressive Party unity, back to that conversation. I love it. 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 The past 5 years was so deep. And what's deep about it is that that's what it's emboldened. It emboldened DA, and it emboldened the Imperials. So it's nice for MK to come. And you know what's nice about MK also and about living in this era is that in the past, when white people took our land and stuff, and enslaved us and stuff, there was a language barrier. But now there's no more language barrier. That's what's interesting about living in this time, is that we can hear each other. And what's fascinating is that seeing some of us still in complete denial, where you just think that Abelung would never do that. And it's like, yeah, Abelung would. Yeah, Abelung would have. Yeah, Abelung are. You know what I'm saying? So it's an important, that progressive alliance is so important to us in this time. However, here's how I think it happened. I think it's true that Juju was throwing tantrums and he wanted positions that the whites didn't want to give him, and that's why he didn't join Woody GNU. I don't think it's as deep as him standing with black people, but I think that we were a convenient excuse now in the end. Um, and then I think that the tantrum of the EFF, also the frustration, because they were really quite arrogant. They had reached, if you remember the EFF ego levels before elections, like how they thought that they had arrived and they didn't need nobody. They were just. So what I think is happening in Parliament is that energy of like this the kid who didn't get their way is playing out. And it's working for us, the people on the ground, because Bajela, that guy in Dabazake, and we've been needing them to do that for the past 5 years, but they were eating nicely, so they weren't doing that. So we moral of the story is we are winning, guys. um oh snap. I wonder what the webcam configurations they need to sort out, man. We would love to have you on. Good morning, Mamiya. What are your thoughts on this? I think you guys are motherfucking psychos. Like totally. Okay, Lebza, I see you. Sisona, we're coming back to this topic. We are coming back to this topic. I think Lebogang wants to talk to us about MK. MK, Lebogang, adding you to the stage, ne? So you are officially our first guest on Mamiya Mondays. Welcome, 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 Lebogang. This test is your mic on? Can you unmute on your side?
Yeah, I'm sorted
Not
now.
good.
Sanibonani,
Good.
Dumelang.
Yes, go
Can you?
ahead. We're listening. We can hear you.
Oh,
Um,
oh, I heard you talking about EMK. Ne? Yeah, MK is here to stay. You have to understand it's not just a political movement, it's a spiritual movement manifesting in the physical sphere. And so a lot of people, it don't make sense to them. It's like the language barrier thing. People, it's significant because the more we express ourselves in our mother tongue, the more we activate our genuine, authentic, true selves. Because there's a reason why we're being taught in English and in Afrikaans. It's obvious so that it's had its impact. It's made us to lose our ways. So being ourselves does start from just expressing ourselves in our mother tongue. And then I heard
thank you.
you
I
say
like.
something. Okay, okay, I can talk, sister.
Yes, yeah, I'm always talking. Let's listen to you. You said the next point. We're listening.
The next point I heard you talk about Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma was like a very great marketing concept for MK. And he even said it in one of his addresses that as soon as if MK wins the elections and takes over government, nobody in the executive is going to this notion with the bekafuna ukuba a president. And Nakona, there's nothing wrong. If we are living in a true democratic process country, if the people want him to be president again, what will be stopping us? Yeah, angangena
It's
sister.
it's interesting. Because now I'm going to give you the angle Yamapujwa, ne? The ones who are on the other side. So abantu bavele they fetch the Nkanda issue and they fetch the issue Gakwezi and they say that he's a very selfish man just using our pain to advance himself and his family. So what do you think of that?
I think that you have to teach our people about the concept of character assassinations. Because trust me, if those allegations were tried and tested, no, he wouldn't be walking free. I would like to think. So, it's like this thing of taking you to court for over 20 years or 5 years or 10 years. It's just to put a cloud hanging over your head that it is granted, judged, or, it's just to put a public perception that you are this kind of person. It's not about finding you guilty or what. And you have to understand that the target on our leaders, it's not really a target on them. We are the target. Our leaders are standing just between the enemy and us. They are taking the ground for us. So we have to teach our people about character assassination.
Mm. And then another thing is that, the issue of women, there's always that narrative, Guti, isiZulu, the culture is very patriarchal, and they don't, there's no space for like strong women. Because sometimes what men do is that when there's a complaint of women, then men choose the women, you know, and it's usually the women that kind of like how if white people, the type of black people, white people would choose. The same thing happens in the gender situation. So men will choose princesses.
Yes, and we also have to understand that is also one of the bullets which they shoot us with, the divide and conquer rule. There's always it's black against white, women against men, children against adults. So Limpopo against Gauteng. It's like it's layers and layers. We have to understand the concept of divide and conquer. It's not only from the political sphere, but it's something that we can fix because only a few of us can see it. So as long as we can see the problem, we can also see the solution. Yeah, ngangena.
Live season, Yazi, I'm saying, I wish you could come on. There's a link there. If you look in the comment section, I've posted a link. Perhaps let me copy and paste it again here. Um, we would like more interaction. We're starting a new feature today. So I just posted the link. Especially Live Seasons TV. This is especially for you because you are disagreeing with MK. So we want to hear from you. It's always important. We live in a world, guys, where it's yin and yang, good and bad, light and dark. So it's always going to have the opposite of it. Whatever it is, it's always going to have the opposite. So we want to unpack everybody's thoughts. We want to unpack see, Live Seasons TV, you've got a lot to say this morning. What if the GNU works? Will we need MK? And if how is the GNU gonna work when it's a white racist union, white supremacist alliance in a black dominated country? I need you to come and answer that.
Oh, left seasons who disagrees with me. I wonder in a point of argument. Okay. Can you please come on left seasons? And maybe you can tell us what is GNU. Because some
You
of
were
us,
saying
it's
that Zuma was not always speaking about the land. Why now?
Why now? I Zuma, when he brought up the land question, there was even a debate, a parliament about the expropriation of land. A motion which I think was moved by the EFF and the ANC combined, only to find out which our fellow members wakhe didn't vote with him, didn't toe the party line. So, and the one thing about land you have to understand, the land was never taken. The land is still here. What is taken is the mind of the people. Umhlaba nawo siphila kuwo mos. They did take those portions, those are strategic. But the land is still here. If the land was taken, we wouldn't be here. So you have to understand the understanding of the English language, that it comes with a lot of coding within it. I hope you got your answer, Life Seasons.
Yes, and once again, guys, please don't be shy. Last week you asked for this segment where you guys can join in on the video chat and we can be a panel all together and discuss what is going on. So we are there. We've started that. So please do use the link that's on screen right now. It's in the comment section. Please do jump in. We do want to continue having these conversations. So I mean,
Oh,
it's difficult. You know what's difficult?
let me say one more thing about the GNU. Sorry for Pazamis. I leader NCC, Fadil Adams, said something interesting. When you take the U and you swap it with the N, it becomes gun. So what if you are stuck with a government of a government that's gonna use its guns to regulate us? What if we are going to become a police state? What if will that work for you, Live Seasons TV? Yeah, ungangena man.
You see, the thing is that history has shown us abelungu xa bebona abantu abamnyama ababona abantu, guys. So it's easy for them to create a police state to police the animals. You know what I'm saying? So when we choose leaders or leadership, it's important to choose leaders that have got compassion. And history has shown us that a white leadership was lacking in that. And it's not that long ago. And what's even more cunning about Abelungu is that they've spent the past 30 years erasing what they have done and what they're capable of, to a point where nani never believer Guti, oh no, it's all good now. And I'm just like, these are the same people, and they've never said anything to acknowledge your pain. They've never it's scary, it's so damn scary being a black South African, because niyazidaftisa.
Yeah, and then but things are different now. Back in the days, it was much more easier because we could see the enemy, which the enemy akafani nathi. So what's currently holding us back now is that love the government say fana nathi, but yes, cindezela. So that's why there's that sense of non-agents. But iglass uthela amanzi, it comes to a certain point la liqwala khona bese yachitheka. And it's not that, as long as I think you're muted ungangena.
Yes. Yes, I was muted. I'm about to bring in new guests. Can I ask you guys so that I think there's a feedback that happens, so you must mute your mics, and then there's a private chat section. When you want to speak, you can just tell us in the private chat so that we'll make way for you. So I'm adding Lee to the conversation, and I'm adding one of our regulars. Hi, Mikey. Oh
Oh.
wow. Okay. Yo, guys, even when you're dying, you're still part of the Moya rights. So I'm gonna let Lee on first and express their views, and the Magazo, you can go straight afterwards.
Okay, Sanbunan, greetings to you, Mama, and to the viewers as well, and to the MK member and to the Magato. Nathemba ngiyaphila ngazi noma mhlawumbe nginenkinga network.
Yeah, sawubona mfethu siyaphila.
Oh, no, so I've heard Guti you spoke about the MK in regards to being like an MK being the spiritual political party. It's not just a party, but of spirituality. So I just want to understand first, Luguti, what about other political parties? Hence, the MK call itself the progressive movement, or it's part of the progressive movement, such as about ATM, about EFF, and other left political parties. And the next question is, what if the JNU works? Will we need the EFF and MK? Hence, I heard Lugutu Mama said, how can the JNU works because it's full of white supremacists? But I fundamentally believe if we can see each other beyond color and skin and where we come from, then maybe we can have a progressive country for progressive movements, such as when I meant by that question of what if the GNU works, I meant of Guti, what if they deliver what we need as the public, like they deliver the services as we need, for example, electricity, load shedding, tariff, what else? Street light, potholes, have you saw the deportation of foreigners in our country now being removed? Undocumented foreigners are now shifted back to their countries. That's the part of, I mean, that's GNU. We've seen, for example, Abu Katie Mackenzie, the Minister of Sports and Arts, revealing the list of artists that were given compensation during COVID, of which that's accountability and also that's transparency. He's also part of the GNU. Um, there's a lot that I can go through. Then maybe I fundamentally believe the GNU can work and we won't need political parties such as the MK and EFF. Hence, when Mama speaks of white supremacists, I think he's reverting back over to maybe uh, back in the day, the JNU was not what it is today. It was not. It was a group of people trying to liberate those who are disenfranchised and marginalized. So if it's full of white people, then it's no longer the GNU as we know. And when we look at the DA's policies and manifesto, it says it restores. Of which now, when it restores what they stole or what they killed our people for back in the day. So I just wanna before I move forward, I just wanna know on that thing. What if the GNU works? We really need the MK and the EFF because we need those political parties when it comes to racism. Fair.
Okay, you asked two questions, ne? Are you
Yeah.
saying
No, wait,
I'm
wait,
inside?
wait,
Okay, okay.
It's the Magato's turn to speak. It's the Magato's turn to speak.
Um, greetings. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yebo mama,
Yes,
siyakuzwa.
yes.
Greetings, sawubona.
Good morning. I'm relating Papa Mama nje, and I'm like, yo, I'm missing out. So I joined. Yeah, got delayed in participating because this thing said I should upload something. So I did. So I managed to get in. And in relation, thank you very much for the topic, by the way. In relation to the topic, I haven't gone through all the comments, but then what I can say, to me, specifically when we touch on spirituality and what is not, I don't see anything related to spirituality when you talk politics. It's got nothing to do with spirituality. Politics are politics. Spirituality is spirituality. It's only the people within any formation that carries those gifts of spiritualism that can operate in whatever a particular organization. So I think siyazigwaza ngumkhonto wethu nathi self when we start to name things that we don't know, because that can only spell calamity. No politics is an answer to a black child's problem. Politics is not a tool to resolve our problems. We have the differences that we are having right now. It goes to show how limited our thinking is. If we give things like politics a pedestal to govern our thinking, that's when we're going to start calling things what they are not. Gabon, I'll
Okay,
stop there.
okay, Mama. Thank you for the kind addresses. Let me start with the one insinuating that other parties are evil. I never said anything, and then I'm confused. How did you come to the term that evil? What does being evil have to say? Because have to do with anything. Because mina ngikhulume nge-ridings. With MK is a spiritual movement. When I say MK is a spiritual movement, I'm saying that it is moved by the spirit. What spirit am I talking about? Since we are humans, you have to understand what constitutes a human. A human is constituted by humility, selflessness. That's why with MK we are a spiritual movement because we are moving a selflessness, more ubuntu. Mama, that was for you. And then I think you answered yourself about the concept of EGNU, but I can engage you further. EGNU in 1994 was totally different to this one. You have to understand the first one with why it was formed in order to understand this one. And this one, it can work. It's just that it comes Nabantu who have a dark history. That's why it raises eyebrows for some of us. I hope you understand. Yeah, yeah, news are life seasons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come in. I'm done for now.
Oh, sorry. Um, it's such an interesting dynamic because when you say that spirituality is not politics, um, however, okay, first we have to dissect what is politics really, to a human being. Um, there's the concept of just how do we govern ourselves as human beings, and spiritually that would connect to how we feel and how we run ourselves, right? But the problem is that Abelungu came and exploited that space commercially, um, and to push their own ulterior motives. So it gets messed up there. So I can hear when we talk about MK being spiritual, because we did see this movement of energy. We saw the movement of energy. But we also can't run away from the fact that there is like a whole brainwashed section of our people whose politics are a mess because they were infiltrated by religion and spirituality, and so I see. Do you want to jump in there, Dimakazo?
Very, very true. Being spiritual and led by spirits are two different things. We have people who are sitting in leadership that carry certain spirits that leads them. We will never know who are, who are they led by up until we speak to them, perhaps. But then, if from a distance, what we can see, it's only suits and titles. So for us to even associate with a particular party, it means Nziki, we are just following Nati. We are following suit. When they say there's MK join, then you join. But then you are uncertain as to that leader, what type of spirit that they possess, or what type of spirits that they lead with, right? So the movement that you've spoken about in the air, I think let us not misconstrue what is happening in the universe with what is happening on the matter, on the surface. This is on earth. So politically, obviously there will be things that move with certain spirits because we are governed by a lot of spirits, Ziggy. So when we saw the popularity that came along with the name MK, it's because of resonance. It's because of our history. It is because of the heroes that died, and we have a soft spot for such heroes. Hence our allegiance to MK, right? And at a spiritual level, there are other components, other aspects of life that are happening, but then that do not justify what is happening on the ground. I would appreciate if our speakers as well can, as they speak, try to separate matters because there is a danger of misleading people, and people will just follow suit as well as what has happened during colonialism.
I
I
would like to
think
jump
Lee.
in. Well, I would take on the point that the term that she used of resonance. I think one of the paramount important thing that we as Zulus we like to do is when we see another person who looks like us, we jump in and join in and support and do the best that we can because ungumzulu. That's why that's the reason why we jumped in as abantu besintu, amazulu more especially. We joined in without even knowing who our leaders are in the MK. We joined in without knowing what is it all about, the MK. Just because we saw Jacob Zuma umzulu, we entered, we went there, and it's resonant because if you look at the policies of the MK and the EFF are not different. The only difference is when it comes to the to the land, not land policy, good again, undocumented foreigners. I think that's the only difference between the EFF and MK. And EFF has been there, but it hasn't got the support that MK has gotten. But with only just one negligence of the MK of the EFF saying what they allow foreigners, but they stipulated it and saying it's not the influx of foreigners that they will allow, but it's just allowing free trade market within our borders, within our continent. Uh, Another thing, I want to ask a question. If Umama Dimagata Ati, we want, but again, if Umama Dimagati following politics, it's like following air, it's following nothing. I want to understand, Guti, what is it that maybe Utimagata has on her mind? Guti? What is it that maybe we can be following as Abadi? Because we're facing realities, we're facing land expropriation, that compensation, we're facing electricity, kupugi, we're facing load shedding, amanzi now and then are on and off. We're facing no sanitation at all. I mean, there's critical situation that we're going through, such as unemployment. Youth unemployment rate has also increased to 77%, and graduates have also haven't gotten no jobs, and we face tremendous amount of challenges that we go through as young people: crime, killing, substances, and so very on. But I would like to agree on the fact that we're just following air. Posing my question, I would like to agree again that we still also like we're still following air because politics won't do anything for us. Voting for EFF, voting for MK, voting for any political party that is there won't do anything for us. I think one of the things that Julius Malema once said back in the days, he's no longer saying it now. He said, if we gain political power, we would disband this thing of parliament, then we'll go back and give the land to the rightful owners. I fundamentally believe the rightful owners. He never said who are they, I fundamentally believe with the rightful owners, amakhosi akithi la siphuma khona, wherever they are. It can be Limpopo, Kisikhukhune, in KZN, Mrs. Zulu, in Eastern Cape, whoever it is. Those are the rightful owners of Umhlaba wethu. And I like to ask that question again. Maybe Umaguti Masukoshi, let me raise it again. Uguti, what can be your alternative if it's not politics?
Okay. Us as people, like I think as individual, so your question, your question is, it may allow for some derogatory answers, but then I'd like to keep it light. I don't want to make it heavy, because sometimes that, I evoke things, and sometimes not to the correct platforms. So, in short, when I say politics, as you rightfully put it, it's just it's nothing. No one should affiliate under any political or church, or because those are all beliefs. As a concept, a politicking is a concept. The policies that they put together, it's their ideologies. And
True.
to be a member, you have to believe in those ideologies. So it's you are not different to a church goer, or somebody who believe in some other stuff that are here on earth. You're not different. And the only question I would ask in this particular sense, in terms of politics, we have been in this journey for about 30 years now. If I were to ask, what has changed? What has changed? If this is working for us, why aren't we doing something else? What has changed in the past 30 years?
Well, all I can say is we have a free
I,
vote.
I,
That's all that has ever changed. That everyone can vote, has a right to vote, and everyone has the right to practice the constitution, even though it keeps changing now and then and supporting the elite. I think that's changed.
So the
Let's
answer
let in a
is
new speaker. Let's let in a new speaker, guys. We have to share the mic.
okay. No problem. Thank you, Mamiya.
yeah. Can I interject, guys? Okay. So I I slightly disagree with that politics and religion don't go hand in hand. If you look at history and what happened in Zimbabwe, Mbuya Nehanda was a spirit medium. She was able to retrieve information from the other side of this 3D fence and bring it into the world, and that inspired a revolution. What is a constitution in and of itself based on? The church in the Middle Ages. The church was the government. So, Sister, when you say you become a church goer, literally, the global governments today, all of them, you must go through via the Vatican. If you're not a Christian, you don't make it to the highest level of those structures. So me looking at that, I'm like, yo, this is definitely spiritual. Have you seen a global leader that is Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist? Why do they all go and take pictures with the Pope? Why are they all members of the Knights Templars? Now, that is spiritual to me. That is spiritual colonization. That is a system that says to you, you're going to be part of our spiritual system or part of our religion, regardless of your tribe, nation, race, or whatever it is. And if you don't buy into it, you don't make it into the highest level of global governance. Now, before the church, it got to govern global, politics and all of this stuff. The 42 laws of Ma'at. with the policies and the laws from which the word politic comes from. Policy. The police are there to enforce the policy.
Okay.
Government is then the group of people that set these laws and policies. And what are they based on today? They are based on Rome, the Vatican. Not us, not the Buddhists, not the Chinese people, not the Hindus. And that's where we hit a brick wall, because we can then sit and study our spirituality and master it, but we remain like your independent artist that's never going to get signed into a record deal. That's how they've set it up.
Can we let Jimmy jump in? Getting juicy. Hi, Jimmy. Brother Jimmy, put Jimmy right together.
Siyakuzwa 100%. Yeah, siyakuzwa bhuti.
Yebo. Can anyone assist? All right.
Uyazwakala,
No.
cela amanye ama-speaker
Oh yeah,
ama-mics
thanks. No, ngiyayithanda namauthi ngihlabe la mfethu. Yeah, okay, nayila inkulumo la. Anda indaba ye-spirituality. Please. Endabeni ye-spirituality, everything is spirituality, guys. Let us not forget the orthodox. Even the plant itself is around revolve and is spirituality. So if people in Jehovah Nati self is spirituality, if we get together, just imagine the spirit that is going to be collected. Also, it's an MK or whatsoever, but feel the vibe itself. It will tell you there is something that is moving these people. And the politics globally, the ways into shifting a corner now, not only South Africa only, globally. Gugunela has been here like forever, 400 years, it's colonizing. And then now they are creating something like a GNU just to get a shift, get in power based on they know is Africa. The West itself, all the West, the West, Africa, mele ipume, so abantu base Africa, they will be able to exercise who they queen ama kings, ukuthabe iphathi yalento le amason. That spirituality itself, because there's those into lezo. Tina singabantu baba spirituality way back before colonization. So mengabe kungena ingena ngepolitics, it's just ukuthi politics, because siphila kuma era asebenzisa politics. It's not only ukuthi we are pushing politics, we are pushing indaba ukuthi sibe fully liberated. And in a sense of ukuthi mengabe abelungu befuna ukuthi bafuna ukusinceda, why bangakwenzanga lokho? All these years, 400 years, they never did anything with basnike whatever is belongs to us, Tinaban. And then now they are acting as if I'm a saint coming with the ANC pushing the agenda. They are still going to push. The end by push past 30 years. ANC failure is based on we don't have anything that is tangible that we can accumulate like our resources way too. So our resources way. You are as mover sibe this country that we wish to see, but they know umhlaba is also a base of everything they liberate. They hold on to it, and they are doing it and to support even the countries that are French, American and stuff. It's just only holding on the power, limiting abantu abamnyama what they have, the thing abayiyo. they are spiritual beings, they are minerals, and etc. Kuningi nje okubanjwe is this colonization and using us black people, telling us as if there will come a day whereby they will liberate us. Basinike leso sinkwa leso. No, if they want to kwenza lokho, into abangayenza firstly ukuthi bathi, guys, we wronged you, we done izinto ezi-wrong, and this is your history. Firstly ukuthi ke nabatshene iqiniso about our origin. Angithi bathi befika la bathatha all the resources, bathatha even the information, not only the resources, even ukuthi impilo yethu besiphila kanjani. Hence uzwa ubaba uMsholozi athi we should introduce shy away with this constitution so that we can invite umthetho lo ukuthi sasusebenzisa thina as the customary law. Leyo nto le izo-allow each and every individual ukuthi naye as wena umuntu omnyama ukwazi ukuthi uthi thina besilapha kaso thina singabantu na indlela besihamba ngayo, kungabi ile eforcewayo eDutch ukuthi mangabe utshontshe istocks uthi you must go to prison. At the same time you find ukuthi ubulala leso sizwe leso. Look at the drugs zethu ukuthi zinjani today, zigcwele ngama-drugs, nyawupes, people are like umuntu omdala, but they are fighting for houses la eMasowethu. Asina, we don't have life. So check izinto ezinjalo ukuthi if we can get the land back, it won't able ukuthi abantu babe nendawo zokuhlala, and those places ukuthi emakhaya nazo zizoba developed in terms of ukuthi nazo ama-resources angayizi only ema-Joburg, ema-cities, kodwa nabo babe nento zabo abazokwazi ukuthi babe bazenze to ukuthi bavuse isizwe sabo. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh, siyabonga futhi. Ngiyabonga mina Butimi. Ngicela ukuphendula Mamiya. Ugogo Thuli ahamba. Ngicela ukuphendula.
Unfair, man.
Akasekho ugogo Thuli.
Oh,
Uphumile ugogo Thuli.
okay. So
Yes.
so ngiyizwile ipoint yakhe ne ayibekile ukuthi lana mhlambe the way into zihambiswa ngakhona ukuthi you have to be a particular thing to have something. I beg to differ. I'm not a Christian. I'm not gonna follow a system eyakhe umuntu ukuthi ngibe into engiyo. Mina ngumuntu mina. Ngiphelele. I don't need another title to define ukuthi ijeni yami izongifikisa kuphi. So the ultimate purpose of us as human, sifuna ukuba, somebody spoke about humanity. Humanity goes with love, with peace, with prosperity. It has got nothing to do with politics. And then as a people, we do have limitation here for the mere fact that these things were introduced to us. I don't care about the Pope. I don't care about the echelons of hierarchy and all of that. Tina, we are here as animals. We are all equal. I know there's now a new buzzword of it's animal farm, Torrington, Tony. Some things are more equal than. There is no such a thing. As long as I am still living, I have the source spirit in me. I can be whoever I want to be. Nothing determines where I go because of a political name or association of anything. Yes, the land thing has been an issue and it has been used as a token. Lo mhlaba lo sihleli phezu komhlaba la ngikhona ngakhila umkhukhu wami ngihlele khona umhlaba lo akho mhlaba onganawo mina. And there's no mhlaba that I'm going to fight for because these all things are given. The minute we politicize even the mere resources that are given freely, that's where we are being kept busy doing nothing. And thank you, Mamiya. Can I just stop there?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Perhaps let me have a new
Thank you,
voice.
Sebo. And Assistant
Nkuli
asked
Mathiwa.
a question.
Thank you.
Yes.
Siyathokoza siyabingelela. Ngi- Ngithanda ukuba nenkinga ye-network ngapha ngazi ngizwakala kahle yini. Ngibingelele nje kakhulu kwi-panel. Ngibonge futhi kakhulu i-platform imoya. This is such a very important discussion. And inhle ngoba i-continuation yama-guest akebe khona kwimoya amanye angama-specialist kwi-politics, kwezomoya and so on. So ngifisa nami engage nje kancane kule ye-politics ukuthi i-spirituality or not. So one of the episodes afika la kumoya was amakhosi who have claimed ukuthi it is them who formulated African Natives Congress as a fact. And we know African Natives Congress is the oldest political party in Africa. So all other political parties abukele ku-ANC and then they were formed. So this ANC was formed by spiritual people in the form of amakhosi. The people who thina as abantu we say baxhumana nomdali. In fact, it was lawa amakhosi who fought with Abelo, Abo King Dinuzulu, Abo King Otalinjeb, and all these ancient people who sat down and connected in a spirituality, decided to let us start this vehicle to start in Lela entsha yokulo. So, and I have a very big problem, and I've been discussing this panel with other the spiritual teachers are famous. Why do you not join MK or support it if MK is saying the very same thing that you have started organizations and you're always having talks everywhere, lectures? This is what you must do. This is what you must do. President Zuma comes in, sacrifices his career. He defies ANC le khona, starts contests and says these spiritual things that we always say. He even goes to his angoma, ashisela ngempepho, showing that this is the new way now. In one of the rallies, he said, we must bring back amakhosi who are connected to Nomkhubulwane. And I'm sitting down and saying, where are these spiritual teachers who are always teaching us about Nomkhubulwane? Where is Nomkhubulwane? When is Nomkhubulwane going to get expression? Because whatever else you are doing, it does not have enough power. We have seen there are many teachers, lectures. It's not having that national consciousness that we need. But MK, President Zuma being there, in fact, I wonder what is spirituality. Don't call it. This is very personal. I mean, I wonder when President Zuma sings ingoma ethi ingoma ekhuluma ngobaba uLthuli ekhuluma ngobaba, what is ukuphahla kade? Is it not calling upon those akade bephila before us, sivusa ispiriti sabo and using it to achieve visitation? So why do we say politics is nothing? If Ubabu Krizan was shot and died fighting for the land, and then we say politics is nothing, I'm afraid, I'm even planning on writing a letter, my panel, Uguchi, this spirituality of today, that's what I call it, this spirituality of English words is actually sponsored by something else that we don't know, because it's now removing abantu abaneyipho zomoya from the everyday problems that you are facing. And then we must face all, we must CTC, raise our vibrations, it's all good and all of that. But how can we say uilanga, umoya, umhlaba, amanzi are nothing? But that is what is phahla lezo zinto every day. So if there's a vehicle, like in the form of MK, which says we must claim back our waters, our oceans, we must claim back Ukahlamba, where the source of water is in the southern hemisphere. Because it's not captured by white people. You can't go there and just say, "Sengyongena Mpopo mina so Kahlamba," because the current politics prevents that from happening. So we must change that. And there is no other way of changing it ngaphandle kokuthi we either do what abafowethu laphana eNorth abakwenzile, take up arms, fight, or this way yokuthi let us vote, get 2/3 majority, and then change things. Sengivala nje ngixolisa ukulula. There is a concept very dangerous formulated by the Soviets called psychological subversion. They take this concept from art of war kaSun ukuthi if you are fighting a strong enemy, never try to block ama-punches ayo because uzolimala even ublockile. Just redirect the punches away from you. And unfortunately, that's what I think is defeating abantu abamnyama. You go to the religions that we hate, but you find the talents of black people there. The Izayoni, all these people, that music is invented by black people. But the message that it's pushing, it's a message that is counter-revolutionary. Even njengamanje, you find ukuthi zonke izinto ezicindezelayo formulated by including politics, but it's working against us. What we must do is to now redirect these things, zisebenzele. Ngiyabonga.
I don't know who's burning on the
I don't
panel.
know
Is
who's
anyone
burning on the panel. Is anyone?
ngena mina ngithi okay. You see, this thing takes me to the beginning of the conversation when I talked about e-language. English is not our language. That's why we as you understand ngokufana, and that's why we are not getting each other. Because most of us, we are saying the same words, but it's clear that as we understand ngokufana. When we talk about politics in my layman's terms is ideologies, implementation of ideologies. So me now as an individual, I also have my ideologies. So the primary function of a politician is being an activist. What is to be an activist? To be an activist is to activate policies that I want to implement. But MK has provided me with an vehicle to meet those objectives. I chose MK ukuthi ibe i-vehicle yami whereby ngizosebenzisa yona through ama-ranks wayo until I get to a point whereby I can implement my own policies, which also align nama-policies we-MK, which is also based on Ubuntu, which is selflessness. And then one other point ngikhohliwe, yabona manje I've lost my trail of thought. Yeah, let me cut it there from now. Ngangena omunye.
Ngazama.
Okay, sharp.
No, you can proceed. It's fine.
No, I was just checking if you guys are ready to speak. Mina, I'm just here to facilitate.
Yeah, no, Mina, ngiyamuzwa no, but I don't see names, so apologies for that if I'm not addressing you properly. It seems like the names have gone off the screen. Um, Uput Lee. Um, you said something earlier with regard to AMA issues that we are experiencing as a people, the unemployment, the landlessness, the poor facilities when it comes to health and all of that. And then I'm thinking perhaps some of the answers cannot be coming out of a political home. Siyakwazi ukuthi singazenzela I could call it a parallel system, if you like, whereby people come together, put their resources together, and create self determination in terms of their living spaces. That can happen because the very same politicians or organizations, they depend on funding and sponsorship. And you find that there are people with money that are promoting or funding these organizations. Perhaps if they can look at into communities and ask the communities what they need and start funding those type of project, you'll see more and more the dependency of politicians is over less, and people can literally go back and find their powers again, because now we're spending all our energies debating about politics, where else we should be focusing on building ourselves or rebuilding, let me say so, because we have been broken down by many things ezenzakalayo in our atmosphere. So yeah, I think for me, if I recall onto your comments, and Uguti, politics is not the answer. Let's say for me, and Ziki in particular, there are other ways that we can do as a people without having a name, Emma Politics, which drives our aspirations as a people. Thank you.
I think initially to what you've just said, just to add up, I think Uti as some sort of a certain land, ubese siba sibizwa ngomoya, this is moya land and sihlale khona, then we crops, if we fertilize the food, siba namakeklis there, run away from all of these strategic things that we are actually going through as South Africans, as citizens of South Africa. I think Mama Mia, you have a task here, Magunjalo. Ukuthi sithole uland la hlanganise then yadinyana. But to add up on what you've just said, I think last on the last session that we had last week Monday, I think that Umama Mia raised the point of Uguti, I'm tired of voting because my vote goes to the people that reaches and that enriches themselves. That's why we speak of VPS today. That's why we speak of Pala Pala today. What are of these things, these shenanigans and scandals that are going on at the moment? But through our vote, and we don't get to be on that panel of decisions. Uguti, no, we don't want this one to be our president. We actually want this one to be our president. So actually, even though there's a free vote for all, but we are limited to the thing of free vote to all because we don't get to decide who our leaders are. We don't get to decide who can lead at a certain facility. Maybe we all speak of Undlozi as this guy with logic and ideas, with education is proper, but he gets no position at anywhere. But we find our own matriculant, which is John Steniers, and being part of the ministry that he is in, the position of where he's in, we find about the minister of military, so Angie Moteg, but with no proper background of military. He has never been in the law for in a police force or anywhere. But to move on, politics will never assist us, regardless whether it's Zuma, regardless of whoever it is, because Zuma was there as a president. I saw Umama to Luguti. She said Guti. Zuma wrote a book, and he has been vividly voicing out that this land must be brought back to the rightful owners. But now he still wants the same position to be the president. What now? What changes would he bring in terms of land? What changes will he bring in terms of? Because I think free education was implemented in his time, but after him being like, after him stepping down from being the president, the thing was shut down. I think the first time he entered to be president, he chased away. He fired Blake Demand. Then Ramaphosa got in. Then Blake Demand was brought back. But free education was implemented. But now free education is no longer there, because even though they say NSFAS is a bursary, but it's not yet a bursary, because some that were funded back in the day are still paying till today. So what difference would it make for me to go out and chant? Yes, I think Ubaba Ngala spoke about Chris Hani was assassinated through politics. Abo Lage Libalele Dube opened up the African Native Congress, of which is the first politics in Africa, but yet changed. The question then becomes, why was it changed to National Congress? The white people saw, because Abola and Balele came from overseas, they abroad, the land, then they came back, they said native. Then our white people saw with something fishy here. Then they get to buy the idea. So the idea can be bought either way, regardless of whether you have good morals, you have good ideas, but if there's money inside in this world, you won't survive. We as people, not just black people, we as people, we have to find an alternative on how to live amongst ourselves. Take out this notion yokuthi umuntu omnyama yini engayenzela umuntu omnyama, yini enhle engaqhamuka kumuntu omnyama. We find umuntu enza something different, then we get to criticize. We don't assist. We get to criticize with time. It's similar. Maybe I don't know what Mamiya, but maybe Mamiya studying poetry back in the day. But that was the gift of our four ancestors that came up and saw we are to live again. We are to give her a certain gift for it to be nourished. It needs some certain people to come and appoint with there's something great about her. But starting off, now Mamiya has made it through. Support. So we need to remove the notion of we support what the world sees before we even see it. Then we get to see it after the whole world have seen this is actually what we should have supported back in the day. I think Halab.
Thank you. We're grabbing our last comments, last round of comments. I don't know who wants to go in. But Jimmy, Ngati, you're ready?
Okay. Yeah. I think njengoba kunale platform imoya, there is more of information abantu abangarelate kuyo and abanga-absorb bafunde. It's more like an institute whereby siyageleza, siyafundisana abantu bakithi. Ngoba remember ukuthi yena we were disconnected from ourselves, from who we are. So leyo nto is more like siyazifuna, you understand? And these people, they plan this for 400 years. And they bona maybe abaplanela 100 years forward. So even noma ngabe uyabheka abroad, abantu abamnyama ayikho into ebambekayo. Not nalaba bakuma first world country ukuthi ke nasingayikhomba sithi ke we are proud of black people njengamafemu etc. It means singama subject of the white monopoly. Maui subject awukwazi ukuthi ungaflourisha ungaba ku competition with the white person, with your master kahle kahle. So that is why these people are always keeping us down. Thina the voices esinayo manje ukuthi siyisebenzise and enter the space ngokuthi ke namanje sisibonise and singasekela ukubhekelana phansi ukuthi ke we are not good enough, we can't do anything. Si best gabi, they know that yikho bangafuna unleash us as black people. These people, if ever we can unleash them. Yibo abangawuphatha lo mhlaba lo as kusingama queens and king. So we need to go ukuthi ke sifundisane that and remind ourselves the importance yomuntu omnyama, a melanin person. So that no matter who face the world, it means they have to buy into our idea now. Ngoba manje thina we trust who we are. We present ourselves emhlabeni as a competitor of all the race. Hayi sibe salele emuva njalo sidla amarinsa, I understand. That's the thing ekumele sigurele even when we yona vehicle le MK body, please guys, don't forget ukuthi kena kahle kahle into esifunayo la i-full control ukuthi umuntu omnyama akwazi uku-accessa ama-right wakhe as umuntu omnyama. Ungabi shy ngokugcoka iphandla zami ngiyoloneni kube nama-question ukuthi kena mina ngathi ngidina the white people or the white black the clever blacks. Ngifuna ukuthi kena ngibe proud ngongena ngebheshu lami if it's necessary kuyisikhathi sokuthi ngiyongena ngalo, you understand, because ngizobe ngi-embrace isiZulu sakithi, ngi-embrace isiXhosa sakithi. That's what we want, or esicelayo kuphela, you understand, to be us. Nathi sikwazi ukuthi kena economically abantu abamnyama bameje nama-China, bameje nama-Indian, bameje nama-whites. Singabi ama-puppet wawo wonke lama-nation, only black people abama-follower, obathola bajoyine wonke lezi zinto lezi ezi-unnecessary, but lama-race awasijoyine into zethu. Ba-few abajoyine into zethu yilabo ukuthi kena bafuna nje ukubonisa ukuthi hayi nathi siyiphatheni, but they are not fully participating ey'ntweni zethu. That is why even namanje izinto ama-troubles wethu asikwazi ukuthi bawise court ba-interpreta wrong izinto zethu, and thina siyazazi ukuthi kena how to interpret if ever icala lisolimeka so, you understand. So bona in most cases uyabona namanje sorry nje guys ngoba kaningi you find ukuthi kena sesilwa sodwa igender yabantu abamnyama ashadi enhleke singama-enemy to each other, you understand. Why? It's because labantu bayimanifestile lento bayenzile ukuthi kena singakhona ukuthi sishadane ngoba if we can have economy, I will be able ukuthi ngishade udadewethu, you understand, ngoba nginendlu, nginomhlaba, nginani. So ngoba nginganazo lezi zinto lezi, ngine-RDP, ngibona kahle ukuthi kena ukushada kumsebenzi onzima, you understand, ngizoba wondla ngani labantu la. It put us ukuthi kena singayi anywhere further, and umshado unawo self uyi-spirituality, just to count a simple thing. So we need to ukuthi si-check ukuthi kena amanye ama-failures our-creator ukuthi kena ngoba si-stupid kamampela. It's because i-system the way ibeke izinto ngakhona able ukuthi sifane nabo nathi sililizele instead basenzeleni ama-burial society amaningi esigijimela ukuthi siwajoyine ngoba sesisaba ukufa. You think ukuthi kena manje yinto ekumele forgetting ukuthi kumele ucherishe something that is building the nation. The minute ngithatha wena ngakho ubuhlobo, you understand, manje yini into esey-serious ngokuthi siyongcwabana sesithathele sesiyenzele nama-party, you understand. There's a lot thina sikubuyisile singabani. Okay, but kena thank you sis Insiki ukuthi kena usky this place ukuthi kena sikwazi ukuthi sivoice out. Siyayibonga nabo laba abavula lo mlomo njengaye uMandela, but kena bangacabanga ukuthi kena sizothula lo mlomo kwathiwa siwusebenzise ngo-94 sesisebenzisa ukuthi kena silungise nabo, hayi ukuthi si-against bona, sesilungisa bona, just that ukuthi kena bona basifambulela basadla nalabantu laba abamhlophe. Thina we need a radical change as our life. Thank you guys, thank you sister, thank you all. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
But Jimmy,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anymore. You said it all. You said it all. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, thank you guys.
Do you have any closing remarks, Gogo Tuli?
Akona umshunqiso wezinto zempisi lona ne. This too is part of the antidote to awakening people. Did you get
Beautiful,
that?
guys. Thank you. Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, guys.
Thank
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you to all the panel members who came in today. This is a really nice segment. So we'll see each other next week. Guys, please don't be shy next week to join in as part of the panel members. As you can see, it's quite easy and quite nice. And thank you again to everybody who joined in and was brave enough to just jump in. Have a beautiful week ahead, and we'll see each other on Monday.
Thank you.